Hey y'all, it's your girl Izzy with part 2 of my OCD story. Cheers! I left off stating how crazy addicted I was to my Barney. Like, I couldn't leave without it. I couldn't sleep without it. I couldn't do anything without my Barney. Like around age 5, I started to deal with just right OCD. Things just had to feel right on my body. If it wasn't centered right down the middle, it had to happen on both sides. So if I hit my elbow, I would have to hit my other elbow. Even if it was just like pressure, if somebody put pressure on one side of the elbow, I would put pressure on the other side of the elbow. If I got wet accidentally on one side, I would have to wet the other side. And I don't necessarily think that this is like an intrusive thought came in, like, oh, your family's gonna die if you don't do this. It was just, I think it was just like anxiety induced. I think it's like the beginning stages of OCD. It starts off real small and it like trickles down into like things that aren't that big of a deal. You start compulsing until it actually like starts to attack the things that are really important to you. And that's where you're like, hold on, hit the brakes. Like, what's going on with my head? Always like had this like crazy attachment towards my mom. I never went outside to go play. I learned not to trust myself. You know, be careful when you cross the street, you get run over. Be careful when you're swimming, you could drown. Life became so scary that I couldn't even trust myself. I think that that's where the lack of loving yourself comes in, is whenever you don't learn to trust yourself as a child. So I was raised Catholic. I kind of always knew who Jesus was. There wasn't just anything, like my life was still, you know, as chaotic as the next person. There wasn't no actual distinction as to like who was a Christian and who's not. Like, we were just as crazy. But I knew who Jesus was. So we were raised Catholic. And with Catholicism, and then my dad having a history of being around like white and black magic, there's just a lot of magic in general going on. A lot of superstition, a ton of superstition. One of those being reading your dreams. And I know that the Lord gives, you know, a prophetic word through dreams and things like that. It's scriptural. But there's a lot of dreams that are just garbage, and your brain's going to do that. Like, you know when it's the Lord. If it's a nightmare, clearly it's not from God. Introduced to like sexual images and stuff at a very young age. You know, I had older brothers. During those times, it was magazines, a lot of scary movies that were out. You know, I have older siblings, so a lot of scary movies that were out showed like nudity and things like that. So my eyes were open to those kind of things at a very early age. So I have the imagery in my mind. And because I am creative, when you're creative, you have a really big imagination. That imagination could come back and like kick your butt. I ended up dreaming, and I am a dreamer. Like, I have the dumbest dreams. I dream every night, every single night. Last night I was face painting just some like random crap, you know, and I just woke up. It's not like I'm like, oh, the Lord's talking to me or this is what it means. No, I just dreamt that I was face painting, and that is what it is. When I was 8, I had a disgusting dream that scared the crap out of me. I think that's the first time I felt panic and like sickness to my stomach. It was like watching a movie in my brain. It was that vivid. And that built compulsions, and I started to compulse with certain things. I don't want to get too into detail. I don't know. I just wanted to be by myself. I didn't want to be around anybody. Those thoughts were just taunting me of like, oh, it was a dream. What if it's real? What if you're really like that? Like, things like that. So these things are going on. Life continues. I'm continuously compulsing with the just right, and just making sure that I stay safe, saying ritual prayers over and over again until they feel just right, or else, like, if you don't say the prayer right, or you don't say a certain prayer, something bad's going to happen. So every night I would do that. Sometimes the list would be so long while I was praying, and if I missed anybody, I would have to go back. It was just a mess. And during these times, again, I'm around white magic, scary stories, demonic activity, things like that. Yeah, I was scared all the time. I wasn't just scared of life. Like, I wasn't just scared of going outside and being stolen by a white man. Like, I was scared of like demons grabbing me, witches, like things that a kid shouldn't even have to worry about. You know what I mean? Anyways, this really like built my personality from the time that I was like 5 all the way to the time that I want to say before I started drinking and doing bad stuff, to the time I was 14. I was just this really scared kid. I was so anxious about everything. I was so anxious about something happening to my siblings, something happening to my little sister, something happening to my mom and dad, that they were going to die, and, we have old school parents. So they're like, when I die, like those kinds of sayings. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're going to die. Ah. But yeah, it just built this, it built this character in me that I did not start to like. I just felt like, is this life? Like, even as a child, like, this sucks. But anyway, that's part 2 of my OCD story. Follow if you want to continue to hear the other parts of my story. Right now, I'm at the age of about probably like 11. Yeah, because I'm about to get into my 14s where I did start to abuse substances just to numb this brain of mine. So yeah, stay tuned. Again, always a trigger warning for future videos. I do mention harm OCD and unaliving OCD. So yeah, just that trigger warning out there, and y'all have an amazing morning. Bye, y'all.